godlike. Could you spare a moment? Godlike! Winds above! You're really here! I knew I had to find you as soon as I heard you were in Thirdborn. We've got to do something about the Dream Scourge. It's worse every day. One of our neighbors wasn't himself, and we can't afford to lose anyone. We need people who will fight back. People like my Uncle Capo.
I've heard of Capo. He's a local hero, right? The one who killed the Leviathan above the market?
That Leviathan hanging over the market? That was his work. Exactly! Uncle Capo's the greatest warrior Thirdborn's ever seen. But, well, Thirdborn hasn't seen the Capo I know in a long time. I've tried everything to convince him to get out of the house. He may be old now, but we can still use his experience. If Thirdborn could see him up on those walls, they'd all follow him. I hate to impose, but would you pay him a visit? He lives on the northeast side of town. He's tired of hearing from me. Maybe one hero to another, you know?
If you need something, get over here and talk to me.
Oh, let me guess. My Nikai sent you. That kid's been muttering about sending some new hero by. Damn child won't stop hovering over me. They keep trying to send so-called heroes over to cheer me up, but there's not much point these days. Back when Thirdborn was no more than a husk on the cliffside, we had real heroes. I've slain 1,000 Zorips, wrestled rock beetles, even slew the Leviathan. And a fair wind, too. What a legend it is. I had but a few harpoons and a single boat that morning. It had taken days to track the creature. My food and water were running out. When I found it, the beast heaved itself up from the water and crashed down onto me. And there, I thrust a harpoon deep into its belly and killed it. Oh, it took days to tow its body back on the flotsam of my boat.
I admit, I'm impressed with how he handles his harpoons.
Ah, well, those days are long past. I'm a sick old man now. Not much I can do in Thirdborn anymore. Still, maybe Chico was onto something when they sent you. You're the one who cleared the dream thralls at the gates, aren't you? Ah, good to know someone is looking out for Thirdborn at least. I tell you what. This old man would like to ask a boon of you. One hero to another. I promise it'll be worth your while. I want to see my heart one last time. Will you get it for me? A Leviathan heart is a rare thing. When left out in the air, it becomes as hard as Adra, and 100 times as valuable. And I had the only one in the living lands. I couldn't just leave it on my kitchen table now, could I? No, I kept it safe, hidden up in the godless ruin along the coast. But now, I'm dying. I can feel it in my bones. I don't have long, and I'd like to see my treasure one more time. Get it for me, and I'll see you get a reward. Beyond that, well, I left that old ruin with a few tricks for would-be thieves. Step carefully.
Thanks for the tip. We would have explored it eventually. At least now we have a reason.
Good luck, godlike.
Let's finish this. We're not getting in through there.
Who disturbs us? We see you.
You asked for it!
Couldn't have done it better. That'll show him.
Measly dungeon. How bad can it be?
No, Dario. I'm not doing this.
This is your fault. You went soft on that merchant. Barely nicked him. Reckon he lived and ratted us out to the constable. So we're gonna lay low in these ruins and sit on our haul. Who knows? Maybe we'll find treasures inside that'll make us rich.
Rich? You're gonna kill us all. Wow's eyes. Who are you?
Hey, first of all, we only bled that merchant a bit. Still quite alive when we left him.
I don't like this, Dario. This is how we get ourselves killed. First you said we should come to the living lands, and I went with you.
Stealing from that merchant was your idea, though. And credit where credit is due. It was a solid one.
Now you want me to break into some dungeon full of traps? I've had it.
Kuta bow. If it bothered you that much, you should have said so. Told you we should have gone into the ruins instead. I told you it'd be simpler. Now look what happened.
Yaxley, look out! Nicely done! Gather round!
Looks like it's got some missing parts. Can't wait to see what it makes.
In retrospect, I should have seen that coming. A marvel of engineering, this place. Can't believe it's still standing.
Love to see someone else so active in their twilight years.
No way forward from here. Just a little spark. It is a long game.
Easy when you do it.
next? Anyone? Looks like we weren't the only ones searching for the heart. A joke, right? No treasure for these ones. This had better be worth it.
right would open the door and left. Well, who's ready to not believe any more sounds? Put the heart on a pedestal. How subtle. Yes, of course. Everything but the treasure was trapped. How silly of me to assume otherwise.
Thank Aethys. I thought you'd never come out of there. I've been waiting for ages. Uncle Capo taught me a thing or two about how to survive. It's why he's always so... No! I can't get distracted. This is too important. Listen to me. I came to find you as soon as I heard what my uncle asked you to do. I just wanted you to meet him, not go on one of his stupid escapades. What do you think? You have to put the heart back. Or take it away. Whatever you do, don't give it to him. I've tried to be a good Nakai to him. I really have. I've given him everything he wanted. But this is different. Apparently, if you grind a fossilized Leviathan heart and mix it with wine, it becomes a poison. I found his notes on it. I think that's what he wants it for. I don't know, but he's been more and more upset lately. I'm afraid he believes he's so sick. He has no other choice. He's been a hero for so long. I don't think he can imagine a life in bed. You've got to put a stop to it. Any way you know how.
The wolf eats the hemlock. What suffering could be so great?
Then we've got to go back. Right now. I'll go find the Tiranui. He'll know what to do. If you can talk any sense into him, Just hurry. I'll be there when I can. I hope so. I'll see you soon.
A man told a tall tale about the fishing boat. How novel.
Seems our local legend has not been entirely honest. He could have shared the credit, but no. He wanted it all for himself.
Godlike. Ah, back already? Have you got the heart? Huh? You won't even let an old man ask how you like my designs. Fine then. Start talking. Ah, yes. That. How could I? We were young and stupid. We went out in secret. The entire town hailed me as a hero the moment I stepped onto shore. I had overcome the Leviathan.
You could sound a little more sorry for lying to everyone you love.
With everyone celebrating, I couldn't bear to tell them that I wasn't the warrior Thirdborn thought I was. That I couldn't save her. From the moment I stepped off that boat, I stopped being Capo the man. I was only the Leviathan Slayer. Perhaps not, but Thirdborn was a new settlement in those days. Times were hard. People clung to any reason to celebrate. I hid everything I'd taken in the hunt within the ruins. Once people heard about it, they thought I had other hidden treasures. But adventurers started thieving, looking for gods know what, and I set up traps to stop them. The heart is the only thing I have left of her. So, what will you do now? Reveal my shame to the town? To my Nakai? This must be the god's justice then. Maybe it's what I deserve after all these years. So, the heart? Damn that child to the depths! They were never supposed to know. I have the dream scourge. I'm starting to feel it in my bones. You'd think it comes on slowly, so slowly I don't think folk realize until it's too late. I've got shakes, tremors that weren't there before. But the worst are the dreams. Sand swallowing Thirdborn. A garden, vines eating at old ruins. People say the dream scourge is a soul plague. I'm no fool. It's in my head, eating away at me. I saw it at the gates of Thirdborn. People go mad. They kill their kin. I don't want to hurt Chico. I'd hoped to go out quietly, but my Nakai is smart. I didn't realize they'd uncovered my plan. I can't bear to hurt another person I love. Not like Ampara. Not again. I want to die as myself. On my own terms.
On the one hand, it isn't our place to decide how someone ought to live or die. On the other hand, the Leviathan's heart was never his to begin with. Finders keepers. At the end of the day, I think eating a Leviathan's heart is an impractical way to end one's life. To each their own.
I think Capo has earned the right to make his own decisions before he no longer can.
You can understand that, can't you? Give me the heart. Give me this one act of courage. Thank you. Chico will mourn me, but you've saved my Nakai a greater pain than they know.
Prune the dying bud. Return to the wheel. Start again. We ponder.
Good luck. You'll need it. Here, take this. You'll have more use for it.
I know you just talked to my uncle. You didn't give him the heart, did you? But how could you? You know what he's going to do with it. Oh, God. I'm going to lose my uncle. And for what? His pride? That's not true. He has family. You don't understand at all.
This is between the two of you. I'd better be on my way.
Damn you. Everything was fine until you poked your nose into it. I hope the sand swallow you and you never come back to Thirdborn again!
We're an easy target for their pain. Leave them be, envoy.
Hey, I wanted to talk to you about what happened in Emerald Stair. I know your emperor sent you here to represent Aedyr, but the steel garrote raising Fior has gotta make things harder for you. Then why did your emperor send them? Yeah, and they don't make your job any easier. Look, I'm not trying to hold your feet to the fire over this. The cruelty we saw, it's hard to reconcile that with the place you've called home. I just wanted to know how you're feeling about all this. You'd think this island's big enough, wouldn't you? Anyway, I just want to check in with you. This may be your burden, but you don't have to carry it alone. What's on your mind? If you can believe it. I didn't think it was possible to talk them down, but you managed it. And you say more than their foolish hides. Those two fought for Rauatai in the Deadfire. They learned how to disrupt enemy movements and destroy supply lines. They'd have nipped and poked at your comrades at Eagle's Reach until Aedyr finally snapped back. At Thirdborn, most likely. All while the two of them remained secure and defended in their tower. Back in the Rough Country, they were part of the Rukapa, elite warriors in the service of the Ronganui himself. Our tall grass, in a way. They were always intense, but I never would have thought they'd go that far. Nor I, but this goes beyond defense. Thirdborn's under threat, but if loose cannons like them fire at everything that moves, they'll draw even more trouble to our walls.
They lash out like cornered animals, giving the steel garrote a reason to fight back. Not that they need a reason.
Still, better not to give them one. Or they'll have us fighting on too many fronts. Stunts like theirs will only draw the ire of the steel garrote, or the full force of the Aedyran army if they push hard enough. Believe me, I want to be wrong about this. The Living Lands is changing. We've got more ships coming to port every year. If it's not Aedyr, it'll be someone. Yeah, it was tough to see him like this. He'd just given up, and we let him do it. He still had time, and he should have held on to every minute of it. For Chico's sake, if nothing else. You helped me come to terms with losing Tama. I just worry we've robbed Chico of that chance. Maybe so. And about Capo's secret.
Thank you for telling us about Tama. For what it's worth, I don't think less of you. Dealing with grief, it's never easy.
I've lost people before. You're right. The grief is never easy. What I didn't know how to deal with was the shame, knowing I failed them.
We never fail those who love us. But our conscience tells us otherwise. Katoa and Hayako. An interesting pair. Despite their clumsy methods, they were just defending their community. I'm grateful that you showed restraint. They have a second chance, which is more than most get. I only bring it up because people are growing wary of your empire, with good reason. When they take their anger out on you, don't judge them too harshly. We all make mistakes. Anyway, just wanted to get that off my chest. You too.
I've been trying to sort my thoughts since we left her domain. We met Ringrim. The Ringrim. Master illusionist of the Circle of Archmagi. And we impressed her. She even offered to make me her apprentice. As smart as you are, Envoy, I sometimes forget that you are still a layperson. It doesn't feel real. But it is. Oh, Handra's titties. What am I going to do? If I take the apprenticeship, I'll have to leave Quilici and Fior. And what about my study of the godless? I've spent my whole life with them. I'm not a kid anymore. I can't do everything all at once. There are only 26 hours in a day. I love my life as it is now. Exploring as I wish and coming home to open arms and a warm bed. I don't want to give that up. But this is something I never even dreamed of. But it's big. It won't leave room for much else. And I'm too old to... Oh, Envoy. What would you do? I know. That's the whole issue. I've learned magic through my own means, reading and studying on my own. How much more could I learn with her? And how much faster? Within a fortnight, I could rule the world.
Oh, gods. I'll stick with the secret sleeping god that whispers who knows what in our leader's head, thank you very much.
Thank you, dearie. I can't promise I'll act on it, but I really appreciate the advice. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to write a letter to Quilici. He'll never believe me. I wish we could have done more for them. Capo and Chico, I mean. But if I were in his shoes, I hope I'd make the same choice. Though I'd like to pick a more fun way to die. Exactly my point. I can only hope that at the end I have control over things. That I can go out as Yatsley. For better or for worse, but usually better. But it gives you something to think about. I mean, not everyone gets to come back like you did, Envoy. Well, that's all I had to say. I'll let you get back to whatever you were doing. Unless there's something else you want to chat about? How can I help, darling? Well, I suppose you've earned that much. And I do enjoy rewarding tenacity. Though between your dreams and mine, it's a wonder anyone gets any sleep around here. You remember that I nearly burned my family home down when I was young? It was an accident, and I paid for it. My parents refused to buy me more spellbooks for years. Well, shortly after all that fuss, the dream began. It started at first with a fire, just flames crackling, and a feeling of safety. I thought it was a little weird, but nice. But then the dream kept coming back, night after night. I learned more every time. I saw that it was a fire in a hearth, and that hearth was in an old library. I assumed it was a library, at least, to explain why there were so many tablets lining the walls. Oh, everything from dry historical recountings to treatises on agricultural techniques. No romances, though. Whoever filled the library must have been allergic to them. No, never actively. I had read them all previously, if that makes any sense. That's actually how I learned the Aedyr language. Just woke up with that knowledge, which is very useful when you can find no written records. In the library, there's just one person, but they're wearing a hood, so I never see their face. They do the same thing every night. They curl up in a chair by the fire, hold a tablet to their chest, and then the fear comes. The paralyzing, all-encompassing fear of something. When you put it like that, it almost sounds boring. Maybe you just need to experience it yourself. But a low, deep banging starts, and it rattles through your bones and shakes you to your core. And it replaces the beat of your heart with this droning on and on and on until you forget every other sound you've ever heard.
A beat. Steel feet on the shore. They come by night.
And then, as it just gets louder and louder, and right before it gets there, I wake up.
You've been listening to too many of Giada's ghost stories.
And let me tell you, waking up in a cold sweat does nothing for my fur. How sibilant. No. Just that it's all-encompassing. It's strange. I've not told many of the details of my dream. I suppose I must like you quite a bit, Envoy. Don't let it inflate your ego too much. You know, Envoy, we've traveled enough that I think I've gotten a handle on your style. Style of fighting, I mean. Your fashion sense is more opaque. I could probably teach you a thing or two, if you're up for it. What do you say? How about I show you a little bit of everything? What? Out of breath already? Talk to one of the boys. See if they can help with your stamina, dear. Well, I've taught you all I can. Let's hope you put it to good use.
Guy, can I borrow your pistol?
I don't usually lend it out. Why?
I was hoping to make a few simple modifications.
What kinds of modifications?
Well, I was going to... To start by removing... pulling the trigger,
What?
then snapping off the